What's up, Buttercup? It is I, it is me, it is she, Barbie P. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to my channel. And of course, we're going to jump into this video, but I have to give my disclaimer. I am not a doctor, a dietitian, nutritionist, or Jesus. So I always recommend on your weight loss, fat loss journey, you seek the professional help that you need. However, I am just a girly that lost over 100 pounds. I have tips and tricks that have helped me out, and hopefully they will help you out. Now, with all of that out of the way, we have to jump into this video. And sis, I'm going to say this to you straight, okay? Cut your pearls. We're going to set the table. We are ladies. Yes, we are ladies. And for the men that are here, you have to sit at the other table because I'm a married lady, so you can't sit with me. And to, I guess, all the manospheres, because somehow I have attracted some of the manosphere. Hello to y'all as well. Hello, hello. But I'm just going to say, sis, your back is not wide because of carbs. It is not wide because of the hormones or even genetics. You are simply overweight because you eat your feelings. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. We're going to unpack it today. We're going to heal from it and finally leave that version of ourselves behind. Okay? So, emotional eating. What is emotional eating? Simple. It is eating in response to feelings, not hunger. Common feelings can trigger it. So if you're bored, you want to eat. If you're lonely, you want to eat. If you're anxious, sad, whatever may be going on, you want to eat because that is a way to self-soothe. You know what that sounds like? I had such a long day today. I deserve a cheeseburger. Food is just the only thing that understands me. I'm not even hungry, but I just want something. Does that sound familiar? Mm-hmm. Also, it could be linked to your childhood habits. Was food a reward or your comfort during chaos? Let's talk about it, Buttercup. Because remember, I was 300 pounds and 8 ounces. So I lost over 100 pounds. So I can talk on these topics because every video that I make, I've been there. So I can talk about it. And I would say I was a huge emotional eater, big emotional eater, because in my household, food was always used as some type of celebration. So if something good happened, we ate food. If something bad happened, you ate food. If you wasn't feeling the best, hey, here's a cupcake to pick you up. Okay? So, but that really triggered my emotional eating. Well, it started my emotional eating, and then as I gotten older, like I said, I've been bigger girly. I've been a juicier girly, whatever you want to call it. I've been like that my life. Like I said in another video, my mom was overfeeding me. So she would, like on a Tuesday night, Buttercup, she would make turkey wings, rice and gravy, cabbage, smothered cabbage, cornbread, and like a lemon pound cake on a Tuesday. And then she made a plate, even though I was like 5 or 6 years old, she made the plate for the size of like a teenager. And then it's like, you got to eat all your food. Because once you eat all your food, you will get a slice of lemon pound cake. And of course, Buttercup, I wanted that slice of lemon pound cake. So I ate up all my food. But that caused a whole bunch of other issues for another video. We're just going to focus on the emotional eating. So what I realized is I would just emotional eat. So back in the day, I would say, I'm 30 years old now. But back when I was like 17, 18, I had a lot of responsibilities on me. And I would say I had a lot of financial responsibilities on me as well. And I was in my people pleasing era, and I felt like I had no control of my life. I had no control of my finances. I had no control of my time. Because remember, I was a part of a church organization. I was a PK. So it was a lot of things that was just going on that for me, I felt like I did not have control of. But what I did have control of, Buttercup, was my food. I had control of that. Even though I didn't have as much monies, I knew that when I got paid on Friday, I was going to get my oxtails and my slice of cake because that was something I looked forward to. It was self-soothing. I felt as though food was a way to, like, it quote unquote understood me, or not even saying, I mean, for some people it might be like food understood you, but it was just like I looked forward to that because I was stressed. So you eat more when you're stressed. And simply when I would get my food, that was my moment I could have. Even though all my time was accounted for, all my money was accounted for in other places and other areas. But in this moment right here, this was for Barbie P, okay? I could eat my food and all of that. And it brought me so much joy because, of course, the flavors and everything, that good dopamine hit from eating the cake and, just all of that. So, yes. But the thing is, Buttercup, and this is something I had to learn too, okay? I didn't need the oxtails. I didn't need that slice of cake. What I needed was a conversation and a place to be able to cry. Or for the people that were being away to me, I needed to let them go. I didn't need that feast. I needed to be able to have that conversation. I needed to let people go. I needed to put my foot down and stop people pleasing. But I would say this, Buttercup, give yourself some grace because a lot of stuff you don't really know until you get older. A lot of stuff you don't know until you actually start seeking for that information. So for me, it wasn't until I got of age and started learning about all the stuff that happened to me. And this was actually while I was on my weight loss journey, because I started my weight loss journey March 1st, 2021. And as I was going through my journey, I started learning like, oh, wow, why do I keep eating even though I'm not hungry? It's like, well, you're a volume eater, sis. You were eating to find fullness and comfort because during those times where you struggled, food was your comfort. And it was like, oh, okay. So you got to give yourself grace, for everything that happened to you. And now this is a new day. So this day, choose to be the best you. Choose to let go of that stuff. Okay, Buttercup? So yes, your problems are not at random. Okay? The emotional eating cycle. This is how it goes. You're triggered. In whatever way you're triggered, it goes to cravings. Then you go from cravings to overeating. Overeating to guilt because you overate. Now you move to restriction because you felt guilty about overeating. So now you're trying to kind of like regroup. But then you are triggered again, Buttercup, and the cycle repeats itself. Okay? Emotional eating is usually predictable. Are you lonely? Are you feeling anxious? Did you have a spat with a significant other? Did you talk to your narcissistic parent? Food has become your therapist, but food does not heal trauma, Buttercup. If you are sad and eating fried chicken and cookies, then don't act surprised when your weight reflects your emotions, not your effort. You need to face your emotions, Buttercup. You cannot heal what you keep numbing because, again, food is a distraction. And I will talk about it again, like on the people on the 600-pound life. Most of the time, The reason why they are that big is because they had a very traumatic experience, either in childhood or in their adult life. And by them having that very traumatic experience, they have used food to numb. And then food has become their addiction. And you know how addiction starts. The first hit is like the best hit. But as you keep doing it, that hit is not enough. So now you have to find something greater. You have to do more to experience a new level of high. So that's why they start eating bigger amounts of food, like even bigger amounts of food, because that doesn't sustain them no more. Or it's like you're constantly searching for a new crave, something to satisfy you, something to numb you, something to make the pain stop, to make the thoughts stop, to make the loneliness stop, to stop the anxiety. And really, Buttercup, what you need is a good cry and some prayer time. You need to get in your word and really face like what is actually going on with you. So, food delays the emotional work. Your emotions are a message and you are silencing them. What are you truly feeling, Buttercup? And it's okay to have those feelings, whatever it may be, because you are the one experiencing them. So have your feelings, but let's figure out a way of how to address them in a healthy way that doesn't hurt you or hurt others. Okay? Okay. We're just talking. We are ladies at the table. Okay? So yeah, but most people actually don't want to lose weight. They want to stop feeling the weight of their lives. Hold on. Did you hear me? I'm going to say that one more time, Buttercup. Most people don't actually want to lose weight. They want to stop feeling the weight of their lives. When you are overweight, you are carrying whatever you've been through. Because again, if you are overweight and you're like an emotional eater, you are eating your emotions. That is the weight of your emotions. Instead of just releasing the emotions, releasing those feelings, you're probably not going to gain, you're not going to gain as much weight because you're not eating your feelings. Okay? All right, Buttercup, we just talking. You're not, and of course, because YouTube does not like when I say this, so I have to spell it out. You are not a binge eating chocolate because you're hungry. You're doing it because you are avoiding that hard conversation with yourself. Okay? If you've gone through a breakup, you are overeating to feel a sense of control. If you have experienced childhood neglect, you always feel the need to feel full. Mom never said, or mom or dad never said, I'm proud of you. So you are using food for validation. You didn't choose this pattern. You didn't choose it, Buttercup. But now you're choosing whether to stay in it or get out of it. Now that's up to you. Okay, I know I'm walking heavy, but it's okay. So I just want you to take a moment and think about the last time you overate. What were you feeling? And be completely honest. And I can tell you, I had a moment like last week, Buttercup. I was going in on the cinnamon rolls. And you know why I was going in on the cinnamon rolls? Because I had kind of got a little triggered. I had did a video and it kind of got an interesting response. And I was still eating, my healthy food, but I was definitely craving the cinnamon roll from Whole Foods. And I ate one of them, and then I ended up eating two, but I did not eat the whole pack. But then when I thought about it, I said, okay, why did I get the cinnamon roll? Like nothing is wrong with craving the cinnamon roll or eating one cinnamon roll. But the fact that I had two and there was still a little part of me that wanted to just kind of like eat the rest of them, I was like, okay, hold on, sis. This is the big back demon. Then I'm like, what's going on? Because something is triggering me to trigger the big back demon. So what has happened? And I thought about it, like last week was very stressful. Last week, some things happened and I uploaded a video and it got like an interesting response. And I did not like that. But instead of me, it's like I didn't like it. And I just kind of brushed my shoulders off and I was like, okay. But there was still like a little bit of light anxiety because of what had happened. And throughout my day, I still had that light anxiety. And that anxiety triggered the craving for the cinnamon roll. And I kind of fought it and, I thought about it and stuff, but then I actually did have it. And then I had 2 cinnamon rolls. But like I said, it was trying to push me to eat one more or eat the whole thing. And then that's when I had to be like, okay, what is really going on, Buttercup? I had to take myself. I'm like, self, and self says, And I'm like, girl, what's going on? Because we need to talk about it. Now I could see 1 cinnamon roll, but the fact you had 2 and you trying to still get some more, like what's really going on? So Buttercup, I had to have a conversation with myself, and it was like, okay, I had a comment that I didn't like. I had a response that I didn't like. And internally, I kind of wrapped it up and tried to like push it down. It was like, don't push it down. If you're having a feeling, you're having an emotion, we're going to get it out and be done with it. Because when you suppress stuff down, it comes out in other ways, which could be overeating, anxiety, your face breaking out, because whatever you're holding in, it's still got to come out in some type of way or form, shape or form. So it's just best to go ahead, let that out and be done. And now it's like, go on with the rest of your life. So that was the last time that I really overate. So yes, but now we're going to get to the part that's like less, we know what's going on. So what can we do to be better? What can we do to stop this? So the first thing I will say, Buttercup, is you need to identify the real trigger. Ask yourself, what am I really hungry for? Okay, do I need a hug? Do I just need a hug right now? Do I need a hug? Do I need to listen to some affirmations? Do I need to take a moment and pray? Is this a sign for me to get into my word? Because I'm going to tell you something, Buttercup. Whenever I do intermediate fasting, and I do fasting for spiritual reasons, and I'm going to tell you something. Whenever I do fasting for spiritual reasons and just, giving my time to the Lord and stuff, I notice that I don't even crave as much, and I don't even have to fight as hard, like with cravings or whatever, or overeating. Because like whenever I'm fasting for the Lord, look, I'm just locked in. So sometimes whenever I feel signs that I'm overeating or wanting to overeat, I look at, okay, how's my prayer life going? Have I been praying like I ought to? Have I been slacking a little bit? Have I been busy? Have I taken the time and do some fasting? Have I been in my word? Because that's like your strength. You got to work out. You got to be in your word. You got to be praying and all that type of stuff to keep up that good fight in a sense. So you can always journal your cravings and journal your emotions. But like I said, whatever, I identify the trigger. And then when I do have that, I'm like, what am I really hungry for? And what's kind of like going on in my life that could be triggering? So yes. And then the next thing is sitting through the storm. Sit through the discomfort. Yes, I said it. Give yourself 10, and I would say almost 10 to 20 minutes before you give in to a craving. Because most of the time, Buttercup, if you wait 10 to 20 minutes, that crave will pass. Example. Me and my husband are on vacation, and I'm doing this video for y'all. So please like this video, subscribe, and all of that. Even though I'm on vacation, but I still want to give y'all a little something. But we had some Chinese food that was just so bussin'. I mean, the Chinese food was amazing, Buttercup. Like, this was not just regular, just Chinese food that you get around the corner store or something. No, this was real Chinese food, like not Americanized. It was just real Chinese food. And I mean, there was so much flavor. It was so good. It was like, oh my gosh. And I still had leftovers. And I ate a good amount. I'm not going to lie. I did eat a good amount of it. But there was still like some leftover rice and like leftover dumplings. And there was a part of me that was like, just eat it. Eat the whole thing because the food is so amazing. Eat all the rice. Eat everything. And I was just like, oh, it's good. I do want a little bit more. But I done ate past comfort level. I done ate past my, what I call it? Like where I say I'm satisfied. I ate past that. I'm not going to lie. I did. But I was just like, it was still trying to say, eat more, eat the rest of it, eat all of it. And I'm just like, no. And I'm not going to lie, 20 minutes had went by and I was still thinking about that corner of that rice and those dumplings. I was still thinking about it, Buttercup. But what I did was I brushed my teeth. I had a cup of tea. I was still thinking about the food. I still was thinking about it. But when I got into bed and I got really relaxed and stuff, Buttercup, I fell asleep within like 10, 15 minutes. And I woke up the next day feeling pretty decent, even though I had ate like a good amount of food. I don't eat like that all the time. I don't. But even though I ate a good amount of food, kind of like before bed, I still felt good. I didn't feel sluggish. But if I would have ate the rest of that rice and the dumplings, trust and believe I would have felt sluggish. I would have been constipated. I would have been feeling terrible. So just saying, sometimes you got to weather that storm. You have to weather it. It is discomfort. It doesn't feel good. You want to naturally just eat the whole thing because of whatever you might have been going through, however you were raised, issues with food and all that. So you're going to want to eat the whole thing. But sometimes you're just going to have to take a breath and let it go. Because again, when I woke up this morning and I did not eat the rest of the food, so I have leftovers literally for today. But when I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, yeah, it was good. But it wasn't like that good to just go on a whole Last Supper. And I'm like, okay, that was all that I needed. So that's why I pretty much passed out because I ate a good amount of food. Somewhat like an hour or so before, about like an hour and a half before bed, I ate a good amount of food. So I literally passed out. But just to sum it up, I weathered through that storm. Even though I really wanted the rest of it because I just wanted it, it was like, no, you're doing too much. You had enough and you had the taste. So calm down because now anything else is just overkill. So yes. And then replace the ritual. So that's pretty much what I did. I went through the discomfort, but instead of just crashing out and eating the rest of the food and going on a full binge, yeah. Before I went on that, I stopped. I brushed my teeth. I brushed my teeth. I had a nice cup of tea. I got in the bed. I got relaxed. So I switched up the ritual. I switched up the routine. I switched up that habit because back in the day when I was at my heaviest, if it was good, I was going to eat it. I was going to eat all of it. I was going to get my money's worth. All of that type of mindset, big bag mindset. Watch that video. But yeah, that's what I normally would have done. But through time and learning myself, I changed those habits. I replaced the ritual. So instead of giving in, you need to find out what you need to do. Do you need to call a friend? Do you need to go for a walk? Do you need to scream into your pillow? Because sometimes life be lifing, and if you don't really have a good support system, if you're single, you have to figure out ways of what to do. So, do you need to scream into a pillow? Do you need to have a good cry for yourself? Do you need to just pray? Literally, just take some time and pray, Buttercup. Take some time and pray. Go on YouTube, listen to some prayers, listen to some affirmations. I've noticed, Buttercup, and I said this in one of my videos a while back, Pretty and Healthy Girl Habits, that I listen to pretty and healthy girl content. So I'm on YouTube. I listen to the girlies talking about glow up. I listen to the girlies talking about affirmations. I listen to the girlies that talk about weight loss topics and stuff. And Just by listening to these topics, they help keep me on track. They help keep my mind in that elevated state, so I'm not going back to old habits. So I love listening to Pretty and Healthy Girl content. I love listening to my affirmations. I notice when I listen to my affirmations and I do my prayers and all of that, I have a better day in eating. So you're going to have to, replace those rituals, have that emotional release. The emotional release must happen, just not through food. Because again, if you're eating, you're not really releasing that emotion. You are numbing it. The next thing, you want to create comfort routines that are not edible. So, how to feel comfort? Again, have you a nice cup of Pretty and Healthy Girl tea? You can use weighted blankets, listening to music. Of course, the relaxing music. I love relaxing music, but I'm a big Disney head. I'm a huge Disney head, Buttercup. And I'm going to say this here. I do plan to be like the voice actress of the next melanated Disney princess or Disney queen. Whenever they have another melanated Disney princess or Disney queen, I'm going to be the voice of it because I'm speaking it and I am claiming it. So argue with your mama, not me. But anyway, I love listening to like the instrumental piano version of just Disney music. And I swear, like when I listen to that, it just gets me so chill. It gets me so just relaxed, especially before bed. I just love my Disney. So argue with someone else. Don't argue with me because I'm not about to do it. You can do art. Some people like to draw. Some people, they're very artsy. Of course, worship. Listen, I'll say this too. I cannot work out listening to worship music. I can't. I tried listening to some worship music that they had for a choir because I'm in a choir, and I was listening to the worship music while I was working out, and I straight up just was like, "Thank you, Jesus, oh Lord!" Like I was doing my bench press, I had to stop, and I was just crying and snotty. So sometimes you need a worship moment to release all your issues, all that stuff, and just release and just worship, give it all to God. Leave that at the altar. Leave that where it's at. Just leave it there and be done. And of course, movement. Go for your Pretty and Healthy Girl walk. I will always say this. Go for a walk. When I was 300 pounds and 8 ounces, I could not do nothing far as working out wise. I couldn't. Those HIIT workouts, nah. But what I could do, I could go for my walk. And whenever I would go for a walk, especially outside and the weather was nice and the pollen wasn't tearing my nose and my face and my lungs up, I would always see something so beautiful. Like I would see a beautiful bird. I would see the sunlight. The clouds will look nice. So just appreciating just God's creation. Like if you can walk outside and the weather is not crazy and you are in a safe environment, please do that. Go for a nice walk. So you want to just create comfort routines that are not edible. And now my last thing. Eat like the grown woman you are. You are not a toddler. You are not a toddler in distress. Create structure. Don't let your emotions drive the menu. Okay, you know how the little toots, they start cutting up and they're hollering and they're throwing chicken nuggets and all that. That's how you kind of look in the spirit when you are emotional eating. So you're just grabbing whatever you can grab, having your temper tantrum and all of that. You are a lady. So act like a lady. Eat like a lady. Have your structure. Have your meal preps together. Have your restaurants that already have like healthy options. Have that stuff already ready to go. So you can think of, if I got to go get something to eat, boom, this is what I'm going to get. Have that structure. Because again, the enemy loves chaos. The big back demon loves chaos. So whenever you are chaotic, that big back demon is going to come in and really push for more chaos and craziness. And then to make you feel bad after you done ate everything, even though it is instigating it. So yes, Buttercup. going to wrap up this video. You are not weak. You are just emotionally exhausted. This is not about willpower. It is about emotional literacy. Buttercup, you can become the woman who eats to fuel herself, not fix herself with food. Okay? So here are some affirmations that I do say, and they help me out a lot. Hopefully they'll help you out. So, I do not eat to escape. I eat to elevate. I am not ruled by my cravings. My body is not a storage unit for unprocessed emotions. I am free. I have control over my emotions. All right, Buttercup. You've done hard things before, so you can do this too. I want you to share this video with someone who needs it. Subscribe because, these are the topics I talk about. So until next time, Buttercup, make sure you are minding your business and tending to your own business. Mind and tend to the business that pays you. And if it does not pay you, Buttercup, then you definitely need to be minding your own business, which is drinking your green juice, going for your pretty and healthy girl walk, and meal prepping your food because it is a sign of self-love. Until next time, Buttercup. Bye.